Hey, welcome back to DXB today. Hope you're enjoying the show thus far. A bit of a pet care special for you at the moment. The old adage that a pet is not just for a season, it is for life. But a lot of people focusing on their pet care and pet well-being at the moment, and with good reason. So let's get more on that. We all know that animals are very sensitive, be it to new surroundings or, of course, loud noises. How can owners make sure that their pets feel secure at the moment? With us now is veterinary doctor Stelios Sakiris from the City Vet Clinic. Stelios, really good to have you on board. Thanks so much indeed for your time. Dragging yourself away from the clinic, because what I'm hearing is anecdotally, you know, these times, obviously a lot of people focusing on pet care, on their pet well-being, and it's nigh on impossible to get an appointment with a vet these days because people are queuing up for the latest appointments. Is that the case? What does business look like at the moment in terms of business as normal?
We have business as usual. We have the standard appointments, the sick appointments, and we have on top of that, we do have quite a few appointments with people trying to get ready in case they need to leave, in case something unexpected happens. So we have kind of a double appointments with that. Yeah.
But you're saying, is there more of a focus from pet owners at the moment? We were mentioning it a little earlier on, how pet owners will leave things a little too late. Is there a big focus at the moment from pet owners addressing their pet care?
I think as vets we see the best of it, and people come in for consultations, for relocation, and getting, which could have been done honestly online with a bit of online risk, but we do love to see them and discuss a few extra things. Some people are genuinely focused on preventive care. We saw that massively on Corona times, people spending a lot of time at home and at the same time taking extra care of the pet. So yeah, we are quite happy to be able to help pets be ready for whatever might happen.
Good to hear.
So from our perspective, sedatives in our industry is a big no-no. But from a veterinary standpoint, are there things that we could be perhaps looking at that I may not have thought
Absolutely. This is something we can talk and we can categorize, right? So let's start with mainly the three type of sedatives are completely side effect free, right? You have your Thundercert, which is a tight set that releases endorphins on the dog that can help calm them down. You have your pheromone-based dogs and cats, pets in general, obviously. You have your pheromone-based, you have your adaptive collar for dogs, releases endorphins. You have a Feliway for cats, spray and plug-in. And then you do have your nutraceuticals, let's say. You have your Calmex or Zilkin. That's vitamin, amino acid based things that will calm them down, that do help. So you can safely almost always use any or all of these three with a good effect. It's not going to sedate, it's not going to affect the respiratory rate, the temperature, anything that we don't want. In excessively stressed pets, we have chemical, medical options, but this is better to be discussed with the vet, I think, because every pet can be different. They can have some side effects that we don't want to risk, obviously.
Stelios, since we're talking about calming pets down and stressed pets, now I have a cat at home, but she's used to my noisy 3 kids. But not every cat would be the same. Not every pet would be able to handle, say, loud noises, right? What would your advice be to pet owners when you have to calm down your pets when, certain surprises arise?
Yeah, well, this is a big one. So we do have a condition for pets, mainly for dogs, to be honest, that it's called crotophobia. It's a really intense fear of loud noises, and what you can do for that is what we mentioned already, right? You can try to desensitize them on loud noises. I do have a friend that his cat goes really upset when we get like an emergency message on the phone, so that you can get that message, the sound, play it on repeat, get the cat used to that, right? So that really can help with treats, with cuddles, with things like that. So, it's pretty much whatever stresses any being, if you start with slow dose of that, you can get used to it for the most part. And then, what we discussed about all the calming Feliway, Adaptil, all the calming things that can really help to, take a little bit of the edge off. Apart from that, exercise, having a routine, having a standard routine, sitting with your pets, you being calm yourself, that is a big one as well, I think. All these things, they will help.
You might have heard me mention earlier, I'm sure everyone's heard me mention it at some point or another, but like I have a horse. So my horse is not in my house, although I would love for him to live there. He's in a stable. But I'm interested to know, when the pets are in the house, do you think that they pick up on these changes if their owners are stressed? And does that kind of get carried on to them? And how would they show stress? How would, an animal's not going to sit there and tell us, I've got a bit of anxiety today. How would it be shown in their behavior?
Yeah, right. So definitely they pick up massively on that, and I think maybe that might be the most important part of it. How do they show it? That will be so for cats, you would see inappropriate urination. One of the first signs of stress would be that for male cats and female cats. So a cat that is used to pee normally on the litter tray, with no changes, start peeing on the bed, something is wrong, something is stressing or some kind of pain somewhere. For dogs it would be stress, also accidents in the house, destructive behavior, they start chewing things that they wouldn't, things like that. So just an abnormal behavior very often has to do with toilet, right, and distraction of things that normally they wouldn't go for.
So those are the things to look out for. And then, are there any sort of tips you can give to pet owners to keep their animals calm if they are agitated?
So we have, the day-to-day things that we're doing is you want to make sure to keep a standard routine, right? Now, for many of us, the routine has changed, but if it has, let's say if you wake up if your dog gets a walk at 6 in the morning, or if your cat gets breakfast at 6, and all of a sudden that's 8, try to do that gradually. Try to change that half an hour per day. If a dog that is used to leave the house at 6 all of a sudden doesn't, they will not understand why that happens. So that's one to try as much as possible to keep a routine, right? And then quality time with the pet is maybe the most important, right? Just get them out for a walk, get them a cuddle, get them some exercise. This really helps keep things nice. It helps us as well. It helps the humans too.
So with some of the locations that we send pets to, there can be it's quite intensive in terms of vaccinations, deworming, anti-tick treatments, and owners are obviously concerned about all of these chemicals. Is there any danger to their pets?
Well, that's a very good question. It takes a very long time to answer, but let's try to. So as far as we know, there's no long-term effects of vaccinations for pets or humans, and that's been debated for, you see America maybe, I don't know if you have seen what's happening, but as far as we know, conclusively, there's no long-term effects. So we do always recommend to do the core vaccinations yearly, right? And we do recommend a deworming every 3 months. And then for tick and flea, that's a different story, is kind of exposure based. So if I have a cat that's strictly indoors, most likely you're not going to benefit from a flea or tick treatment. But doesn't mean it's going to harm the animal. But we have millions and millions of dogs on long-term prevention for ticks, fleas, and there's no side effects at all as far as we can say. Yeah, so no worries.